Morning, welcome to Joy News. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlem. Coming out this morning, 10 persons allegedly sustained various degrees of injuries, including gunshot wounds in a clash between police and residents of Kabore in the northeast region over the custody of a suspected thief. We have details coming up shortly. Also, this morning, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, challenges the authenticity of recent results of the West Africa Senior High School certificate examinations. And thousands thronged the Eburi Botanical Gardens in patronage of the 2023 edition of the Joy Family Party in the Park as they were treated to great and sizzling musical performances. We'll bring you a wrap of yesterday's event. And Ifwa Santua enters day 4 of her attempt to break the Guinness World Record in a singathon. We'll tell you how she's faring at the challenge. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Nana Aisha. Please stay for details. 10 people are said to have sustained various degrees of injuries, including gunshot wounds in an alleged clash between police and residents of Loagri in the Yagaba-Kobori constituency in the northeast region. The incident is reported to have been triggered by a disagreement between residents and the police over the custody of a suspected motorbike thief in a marketplace. The suspect allegedly took over in a nearby house during a chase by residents. An intervention by the police to shield the suspect from a mob attack led to the clash between them and the residents. District Chief Executive for the Mampugo Mwaduri District, Abu Adam, joins us on the line with more on this. Good morning, sir. Grateful for your time this morning.
Good morning, Madam Aisha.
Kindly share with me what really led to this clash.
Thank you, and thank you to your cherished listeners. Yeah, actually, yesterday around 3 to 4 p.m., I received information from somebody in Loagri that there's an incident at the Loagri market where somebody is suspected to have been stealing a motorbike, and the youth gathered and chased him to somebody's house. And then trying to get him, another person also called police to intervene. And the police moved there. When they got there, the youth don't want the police to take the suspect. Then they want the suspect to be handed over to them. The landlord and the police resisted. On the process of the resistance, there were some confusion, the confrontation. And then the police had to also fire warning shots that hit about 9 people. They got injured, but the police were able to manage and take the suspect to the police station, and it's currently at the Yagba police station. And the victims were also run to Walwali Hospital for further treatment.
So what's the security situation as we speak?
For now, the security situation is very calm. As I'm just about in 10 minutes' time, I'll be entering Alawali District Hospital to check on the condition of the victims and how they are recovering.
And where, with the suspects, is he safe? Where is he as we speak?
Can you come again?
I'm talking about the suspect. Where is the suspect as we speak, and is he safe?
The suspect is at police custody.
Okay. And what has police investigation uncovered so far?
For now, when the incident happened and I was called, I also reported to my regional minister, and the police commander also reported to their superiors, and the regional police commander came yesterday in the night. He went to the community, and then as of now, we are still liaising with the police, and they are working, investigating, so that at the end of the day, we get the cause of the shooting.
All right, I'm grateful for your time. That's the District Chief Executive for the Mamproko-Maduri District, Abu Adam, giving us details and updates of the security situation of that area. Of course, it's about some 10 people who are said to have sustained various degrees of injuries, including gunshot wounds in an alleged clash between the police and residents in the Loagri and the Yakaba Kobori constituency in the northeast region. So the incident is reported to have been triggered by a disagreement between residents and the police over the custody of a suspected motorbike thief in a marketplace. The suspects allegedly took cover in a nearby house during the chase by the residents. An intervention by the police to shield the suspect from a mob attack led to the clash between them and the residents. I'll be joined also shortly by a youth activist, Damba Seidu, who witnessed the whole incident. Damba Seidu has actually joined us. Damba Seidu, tell me, who is the gentleman we're talking about, and which market did the incident happen?
Good morning to your viewers. I believe I'm speaking to MFA.
My name is Aisha.
Aisha Ibrahim. I'm not currently on the myself. My name is Damba Abdullah Seidu, the Public Relations Officer for Kobori Millennium Class. So the gentleman in question, as we speak, we don't have his identity, but he was caught on the act because he came to steal the motorbike, and then the owner of the motorbike approached him and asked him where he was dragging the motorbike to. And so he said he had just gone inside the market and bought some items, and so he was leaving. So the motorbike belongs to him. And so the owner of the motorbike used his key and locked the motorbike and asked the alleged stealer to unlock the motorbike if indeed the mark belongs to him. So in the process, you know, it was obvious that the guy had attempted to steal the motorbike. So the owner of the motorbike raised alarm. And so the guy sensed danger and decided to seek for cover in a nearby house. So because this has been happening, especially on Loagri Market Day, so the people were very angry. And so they had massed up at the house where the guy sought refuge. And so the owners of the house decided to lock the guy just to prevent him from the hands of this angry group of people. And so it is important also to add that because of the nature of robbery situations in the district, there has always been police patrol, especially in this market center. So the police were there when the incident was happening. And so they decided to rush in to the rescue of the guy. So the clash between the police and residents was as a result of the fact that the angry residents didn't want to allow the police to rescue the guy because they believe if the police rescue the guy, they were just going to allow the guy to go scot-free. And so they didn't allow the police access. And so there was a bit of a confrontation between the police and then residents. So the police realized that under the circumstances, they were not well prepared enough to handle the situation because they realized that the youth were not going to allow them access to the guy. So they went back to Yagaba, just from those who know Loagri and Yagaba. It shouldn't take the police more than 20 minutes to rush from Loagri to Yagaba. So they went and prepared and came back. So when they came back, I actually sent a video to one of your producers. And in the video, you could clearly see one young man who is not even in police uniform. The man is wearing a yellow shirt and some, I can't describe the down very well. And you could clearly see the man holding a rifle and just firing indiscriminately. So it was during this indiscriminate fighting that in an attempt to disperse the people, some of the people just ran, and some of them also decided to throw stones. And so they decided to just fire into the crowd, and unfortunately about 10 of our colleagues are currently at the hospital as a result of gunshot wounds. So as we speak, we can't actually tell where exactly this particular guy whose act led to this whole nasty situation yesterday. We don't know whether the police were able to take him away from the house, and whether he's in the police station at Yagaba or they've sent him somewhere. We can't really tell. Because when the incident happened, everybody dispersed. And those who were around were spending time trying to stabilize those who had sustained gunshot wounds by first of all rushing them to the Loagri Health Center, and from there they were moved to, I think about 7 of them are currently in the hospital. Those who had gunshot wounds on their legs, I think about 2 of them completely destroyed their legs, and then another young lady sustained a gunshot wound on the hip. I've sent videos of all of that to your producer, and when you play those videos, you could clearly see the extent of injury on their life.
Well, the district chief executive has confirmed that, and he says that he's going to follow up and give us more updates on that. Thank you so much, Damba Seidu. He's a youth activist updating us on that incident. Definitely, we'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. Now, the district chief executive for KJB district, Wilson Agbanyo, has escaped a mob attack over the death of 2 footballers, Peter and Paul. The incident happened when the DCE went to commiserate with a family of the deceased at Yajo, a farming community in the district in the Oti region. The footballers died on Christmas Eve when national security operatives were alleged to be pursuing a taxi cab transporting cocoa beans from the area to Togo. Peter Seno was in that community and has more in this report.
The district chief executive, Wilson Agbanyo, who was not in the district when the incident happened on Christmas Day Eve, visited the family upon his return on the 26th of December. He visited the bereaved family at Yajo, about 2 kilometers from Ahamansu Junction. The distraught gathering of family and friends would not take any explanation from the DCE. The suspect, he brought the task force to the district. Although the DC explained his position on the presence of the Kokobot task force made up of national security operatives, the gathering would not take anything less.
I
am pleading with the gathering to understand that it was not my decision to bring the task force to the district. It was a decision taken by Kokobot and the task force in Accra. The operatives are at Hohwe, Baglo, Jasikai, and KJB. So, they are not only at KJB, but the excesses of the activities are our concern now. It was this agitation that led to his heckling and shoving. He was physically prevented from entering his official vehicle. The DC, who was disturbed by the development, would not go on record except to appeal to the residents to stay calm while investigations continue. These 2 footballers met their death during a chase of a vehicle by national security operatives believed to be smuggling cocoa beans to Togo. In an attempt to overtake the suspected vehicle, they ran into the young men returning home on a motorbike. 2 agents are currently in the community to take them away for a football tournament elsewhere before this unfortunate development. The said vehicle belonging to the task force has been burnt down. Peter Senu for JoyNews.
Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has challenged the authenticity of recent results of the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination, WASI. According to him, some invigilators relaxed on their jobs as teachers were found aiding students in answering questions. It comes after the Education Minister, Dr. Yao Osei-Duchum, announced this year's results as the best since 2015. Mr. Mahama, who is on the Building Ghana tour, believes it has dire consequences on the education system in the future. Nana Ojima was at the town hall meeting in the Infantaman constituency and has filed this report.
Professional and economic groupings continue to honor invitation of the NDC to aid the drawing of the party's manifesto by voicing challenges of their sectors. Throughout the 6 regions toured, teachers have featured prominently. At Infantaman constituency, the non-availability of textbooks after change of curriculum was a major worry.
My teachers in onye esua funara enti yan papa dem yesre that's eba the textbooks in my umbra.
The teachers and students are suffering because of non-availability of textbooks. We plead that you help us when you come. Also, the free SHS has to be reviewed because the double track system is not allowing teachers to get some rest.
Because first track, na second track,
the former president shared in their worry.
We are worried about the lack of textbooks. My curriculum for textbooks in Niho. I wonder what kind of government this is. Our education system is in shambles.
Mr. Mahama further expressed his reservation over the recent results being released in the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination. The 2023 results is the best since 2015. The Education Minister, Yao Osei-Duchum, has already attributed the gains to the dedication of teachers. But Mr. Mahama has made different observation.
After 1 year exams are in many places, one checking Quadano, they let the children cheat freely. You go to places and the teachers are conniving with the children to cheat. The effect of this will be seen later. Because you certify these children, you say he's of this standard, either basic BECE or SSCE, and that child will use that certificate, go abroad to a school, and they'll find that in Ghana your qualification is not up to what you say it is. It is going to affect this nation. I think we're just doing it. Anytime the results come, you say, oh, the children have performed better than they ever performed before. You know, and we all know what is happening in the system. And I know any teacher for, we will reorder things so that things are done properly.
Improving the education sector remains priority of the NDC. A government investment into housing scheme for teachers is among top policies to improve the sector. A promise of reviewing the free SHS policy in the first 100 days remains paramount. For JoyNews, Nana Ojima reporting.
Richard Mensah, a co-founder of Women and Youth in Beekeeping and Value Chain Ghana, has cautioned Ghanaians not to purchase honey obtained from the bush, as it is often not processed properly. During a week-long training session for young beekeepers at the University College of Agriculture and Environmental Studies in Bonso Eastern Region, he urged consumers to make an effort to know the source of the honey they purchase.
I also encourage Ghanaians, do not patronize any honey that they tell you this is the best, is from the bush, and you don't know its source. Don't. Because what they do is that they go to the bush, the forest areas, and they are looking for honeycombs hanging on the tree. They don't have any way of climbing the tree. They don't even have protective clothing. So what they do is they use naked fire to burn the bees or cut down the trees just for that small amount of honey. And then the processing is horrible. They squeeze with your dirty hands, and then they put it in bottles, and they go from house to house. There is no labeling on it. You can't trace where it's coming from. And they tell people this is the best. And that when you provide a hive for the bees to stay in, the hive is there for a house for them, so that you don't cut down trees. And then they will go, the bees feed themselves and come. We don't feed them. They pick the nutrients they want, the pollen they want, and then they produce that honey. That is the honey you should patronize. And when you are patronizing that, you are helping the smallholder, the youth, the young women who are producing quality food for us to eat, rather than those who set bushfires and destroy our farms and make food expensive. Do not patronize it. So the best thing to get quality honey, know your supplier. Know your supplier, and once in a while visit your supplier and know what your supplier is doing. Once in a while pick a sample, send it to the lab for analysis. But key thing, know your supplier. Ask how they get their honey. And if it is cutting down trees, burning the bees with fire, do not patronize. That is not good for the environment. And you cannot assure quality. They don't have the machines, the equipment to process. They don't protect themselves, they kill the bees.
Well, let's stay a bit longer on this because we have been joined in the studio by the founder, Richard Mensah Oko, for further conversation on this. I've also been joined by Joanna Pencil. She's one of the women being trained in beekeeping. Grateful for your time, lady and gentlemen.
Thank you, madam.
But I'm just bothered about the last thing I saw in that report, that we shouldn't purchase the honey that is coming straight from the bush. We thought that was the purest.
Thank you very much for this question, and I'm glad you asked it because these people have been so good at marketing that, and they are selling, and people patronize because they think that's the purest. It is not.
Okay.
It just is not. And then they tell you that if the honey is coming from a beehive, then it's not like original. That's also not true.
Okay.
What happens is the bees move out into the forest areas. They look at the nectar source, so trees, flowers, and then they decide which one they want to pick. So they get their pollen, the nectar, get clean water. And then they make the honey for themselves to use. So if I have a hive, the bees flow out and they go and pick their food. They only come there to come and sleep. And in the morning they go.
Okay.
If they are just hanging on a tree, they don't have a hive, what they do, the same thing, they go out. So we all go out, but it depends on where we come to sleep and where we keep our honey. So if the honey is up there because they don't have a hive to go in, then you have to climb. And if the tree is very tall, then you have to cut down the tree and use naked flower to bed them. So you could say the source is still the nectar available within that enclave. However, if you keep them in the hive, you don't climb any tree to bring your honey and you have to burn the tree or cut it down. And then you can also manage the bees very well because you control the population, you manage them, you can divide them, you know what is wrong, when to give them water or not. So the same honey, just like this one, the African raw honey, is from the natural habitation.
Okay.
It's picking the same nectar, picking the same pollen, and then storing it in the hive you have created, which is their home, and it's well protected. The wild, what they call the wild, is the same thing. They all go there, but it's hanging on the tree. Now what we do is when we get a hive, is try to bait the bees to come from the top of the tree to come into the hive, and then they produce for you. The ones they go there, they use naked fire to burn them down because they don't have the protective clothing. So what they do is to burn them so that the bees go away, they die, then they take the honey.
Okay.
Now the processing is when they come, they don't have even the press or anything. So put your fingers and process. Just to squeeze it out and bottle it. And the amazing thing, I'm surprised why people patronize. You will see the dead bees on the honey you are going to take. And maybe it has been there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, who knows. Okay. And they tell you, see the bees, this is the best thing. Okay. That should not be patronized.
How dangerous is it to find the bees themselves in the honey? They are the producers in the first place.
They are dead. They are contaminating the honey.
Okay.
You know, when the bees produce the honey, they are in smaller quantity, in combs, sealed, very clean, no contamination.
Okay.
No contamination. When the moisture content is too high, they won't even seal it. Once it's capped or sealed, everything is neat. Why would you use your finger to introduce bacteria into it?
Into the thing.
And then you come to circle and you tell people that's the best. That's not true. And nobody should patronize that. Because again, any beekeeper is an environmentalist. We should appreciate the role of bees, especially in pollination. I go more for pollination because that's what helps us to have enough food, food self-sustainability. We should all promote that. The byproduct is the honey and the bee wax and other bee products. So if I get anybody cutting down trees or burning the bees, I don't think I can tolerate you. That should not be. And nobody should patronize those things. Yeah.
Joanna, so, I mean, so far you've had some grants and you're training people. How has it been so far?
The training is interesting, very interesting. And I have been in beekeeping for 5 years, and I have some hives in Kranzan. And the training has taught us a lot so that we should go out and train other youth and women who are willing to enter into beekeeping. Then those who are into crop farming. So we go train them, then integrate the beekeeping into their crop farm. Then their crops will increase for them to harvest more yields, then harvest the bee product too as well.
Ms. Oko, how has it been for you?
It's been a challenge, but to me it's a welcome challenge because what we do is, normally we don't charge the farmers. Already they are afraid of bees, and you are introducing it to them that, look, we want to increase crop yields. You need the pollinators. About 95% of farmers we talk to know about fertilizer. They don't know about the importance of bees or even pollination. They don't. So that's what we tell them. Once you increase your pollinator service, and bees are excellent pollinators, pollinating more than 75% of the food we eat, you are going to harvest more. Then you can have more crops to sell and have more money. Then you can also harvest additionally the honey, the bee wax, and other bee products. But when you tell people, bring bees on your farm, they're already afraid. So you can't charge them. So you have to be there, say them, sponsor sometimes the training, the feeding and everything, get some hives to establish for them. And then when they see the result, they take it up. So the challenge is, how do we go out there to meet them if you are not getting support from anyone? That's our biggest challenge.
But how has the response been? I mean, those coming to benefit from this, you don't charge them. They also coming to get some knowledge to boost their farming and stuff. How has the response been?
Everywhere we've gone to, when they see the results, it's amazing. They pick it up. Now they start investing their own money into it because now they see it. That it's true. It's very true. We have a lot of them on YouTube and are giving their testimony. It has changed their life. Their children have finished university. They now build their dream houses. Amazing. But there are so many communities there who want this introduction. And right from here, we brought our bags. We are going to Sotun there for another program, introduction somewhere, and training. Yes. So a lot of people are now asking, especially thanks to JoyNews. Now everybody's, oh, so you do this, I have calls, we can support you, come to us, come and help us. Calls are coming. But you also need some support to go to them and then do the training.
What kind of support are we talking about?
We need, mostly, it depends, we are looking mostly at funding, transportation to those people we don't have. We have to use our trottoirs everywhere. Most of the communities, the roads are not that good. So some motorbike you go to, how even to fund people or yourself to go there, accommodation, a bit feeding, and the staff you go with, you must give them something. And at least we must also have some beehives to give to them and bee seals so that they see and after they can pick it up. So that initial introduction is a challenge.
Okay. Joanna, how many people have you guys trained so far?
For the training at Bonzo?
Yes.
Yeah, we trained 10 farmers, including me.
Including yourself. Yes. Okay, 10 farmers.
Yes, 10 farmers. And
then
we will go and train.
Okay, it's like a trainer of training.
Trainer of training, yes.
Okay. So you would then go and train how many more farmers out there?
At least 5.
At least 5. One person would train at least 5?
Yes, please.
Okay. So 10 training 5 each makes it about how many? 50? Yeah?
Yeah, 50.
50.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. So let's talk about the processing itself. You gave me a hint at the start of the reason why we shouldn't purchase the one that comes from the bush, because you think that it's not hygienic and it may be contaminated. But with this value chain process, tell me more about it.
All right, so that we're watching now. Once you pick from the comb and you pick the comb, you cut it out. We have a honey press. So you put in your press. If you are using, let's say, the Langstroth hive, which is like a frame hive, then you need a centrifuge. So we do the centrifugal extraction. But if you are using the Toba hive, be it the Kenya, Tanzania, or South Pond, you need a press. So you should first of all know which honey to harvest and which not to harvest.
Okay.
The honey must be ripe. You should know what is ripe honey from the comb.
Okay.
So you don't just go in and press everything you see or cut everything down as those harvesting the bush do. Because there's no way they can separate that. Because when you pick from the hive, when you pick the comb and you do the inspection, you can say that this is not matured enough, so I won't harvest that one.
Yeah.
So I harvest only the matured honey. I put it in the press. The press, you press it down, the honey drains by itself. And then you collect into your bottle. You must also have a strainer so that you strain it or sieve it, so that what is coming out now, you know, does not contain particles. And you don't use your hands in any way to press the honey. You don't want any contamination. Then you bottle. You don't do anything, you don't add anything to it, you don't take anything out of it. Then you press.
It looks scary sitting here. I'm actually, I'm feeling some way. We know that bees, they bite.
You think, yes.
So how do you do this? I mean, so you don't get all because they are all over.
They are all over you.
All over.
So if you watch, you see they are over. You are
They
well
stink.
protected. So you need your protective clothing. The bee seals, the field boots, your gloves. You should be well protected. And you should be trained not to be afraid of the bees. But no matter how good you are, you must always be protected.
Joanna, how did you feel first time?
It was interesting.
How did you feel? I mean, I'm sure you're feeling the same way I'm feeling right now.
Nervous.
Yeah, I
but
can imagine.
I'm now cool with it.
So you go in with all those gears?
Yes, please.
Okay. And your face doesn't look protected.
It does.
Do you wear something to protect your face?
Yes, we wear a veil.
Okay, so that's it.
Attached to the suit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't get a sting.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's talk about the impact so far. Women in beekeeping. Yeah. What has the impact been so far?
You know, when I started the National Beekeepers Association, I found that we started in the year 2000. We followed some farmers from Nkrasa and Techima. But by 2011, it's grown so much that we can't call it Nkrasa and Techima. It became the National Beekeepers Association, registered with the Registrar General. But I saw that the men were sort of putting the women behind. So in 2019, I formed the Women and Youth in Beekeeping, because that's the future. You have to look at the youth, you have to look at women.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when they took over. Now, WINBEAK, which is the Women and Youth in Beekeeping, has done so much. In fact, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, yes, we were recognized in 2019. Yes, we took part, so we are featured in the youth report there. But it's amazing when you see the youth, the women, so much enthusiastic, and they are now going to it. And when they realize that they can make a lot more money, additionally to their crop farming, when they integrate the beekeeping, they embrace it wholeheartedly. Yes.
Interesting. That's one more thing that we've been hearing so much, and I want to find out from you. A lot of the things that people do to get more profits from their honey, I hear some burn foam or cushion or something and they put it in it. Some will add sugar, all sort of things. So when you're going to buy honey, and it could be the reason why people want the one that is coming straight from the bush, because you know that is coming from the bee and not any concoction prepared for you. I mean, how true are these allegations? I mean, have you been confronted with some of these things?
Yes, we heard of so much complaints from people, and I don't have any reason to doubt it. Globally, it's happening. And then last year, the U.S. Beekeepers Association have to sue the organization that allow import, because some of the honey that came in when they tested was fake.
Okay.
So there's a lot of fake on the market. And it's very true, a lot of fake. People even buy like quality honey like our honey, the African raw honey. And because of the profit motive, you or she will add things to it and then retail to make more money. So it's very true. My advice is know the supply of your honey.
Okay.
Where you are, that's the best thing to do. Because now they become so sophisticated, you cannot easily detect.
But how do I get to know the supply of my honey? I just go to the supermarket, I find it on the shelves, and I pick.
That is true.
How do I get to know the supplier?
That is very true. It's the reason why we are also here. Thanks to you. Because this is a national body. So you hear of us, you know what we do. We are now available because JoyNews is making us very popular. People are seeing it. People who didn't know of us now know of us. Come to us. You can go and pick also from there. I'm not saying any honey on the supermarket or all of them are fake. Can't say that.
Yeah.
But once you get from that particular brand, once in a while, take a sample to Food Research Institute or any institute and just do the test. Let them run the test for you.
But ordinarily, how do you tell that your honey is pure? Because, I mean, it's not, I don't think just the color being dark is what shows that it's pure.
No.
Because I know there's honey that is also white. Different colors.
Even Jamaica has honey that is reddish.
Exactly. Yeah. So how do you tell that your honey, the honey you're buying, is pure?
To be honest with you, you cannot just open just one honey, look at it and say, oh, this color, or even the smell is good. No, there's nothing to test. Now, people will come and say, okay, put a mastic into it, and then when you light it and it lights, it means it's pure honey. That's not true.
Okay.
All that tells you, it's good you can use, all that tells you we don't have a lot of moisture in it, that's all.
Okay.
Because if you have a lot of moisture, then the mastic will get wet, and when you are lighting, it will not light. But what if I put it in, let's say, syrup?
Okay.
That's not what I mean. So you put it to light.
But it will still be fake.
Yes. So people will tell you, oh, when you pour it in the gun, it rolls. Yes, it's true. Syrup can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So all those physical things we use is not a conclusion. And don't base on that because I tested it, I put it in the fridge or something, it didn't form ice. It's all because of moisture. It's not true.
Okay.
So the best thing, that's the challenge we have. Know your supplier. Once in a while, also, just send it to the lab. Let them do it. Then you can trust your source. Yeah.
I'm grateful for your time. Richard Mensah Oko is one of our impact makers on JoyNews, and you heard the advice. Just make sure you know your supplier, then you can buy the purest honey. Joanna Pencil, thank you so much for passing by. Grateful, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Now let's get on to other stories. Mini picnics, family reunions, and good music. The Christmas bliss swept through the Brie Gardens as thousands gathered for the 2023 Joy Family Party in the park. Patrons walked away with many prizes, with Kwabna, Efia Kwampa Band, Lipstick Queens Band, thrilling them with some good music. They say they cannot wait for the next edition. Maxwell Agbagba was there for JoyNews.
The energetic performance by Kwampa Band electrified the park, turning the Brie Botanical Gardens into a lively convention ground with patrons dancing in circles, many of them thanking God for helping them see December. have fun family party in the park event happening here at the Bree Botanical Gardens. What you can see right now is the Kwampa band. Yet they brought this place to life. This dancing is spontaneous. Kwampa band, leading that.
I'm having fun, very fun. Yes.
You came here with your family?
Yes, I came with my family.
I'm a Pokwanti William, a pastor.
You're a pastor?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what is it like for you here?
It's wonderful. Joy is doing great things here. Yeah. We love Joy FM, we love Joy Sports. Everything is great. Yeah. We are doing well. Everything is nice.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun here at a family party in the park.
Yeah, I'm enjoying, pa. Really enjoying.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. Okay. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm also happy.
Oh yeah, I'm happy. Thank you very much, Joy.
Okay.
We are grateful.
Okay, I'm sure you want to say hello.
My first time.
This is your first time.
Yeah.
And you're loving it.
Yeah.
Okay. Musician Ifia had the crowd singing along to her big hits. And then Kwabna took the stage, prompting everyone to sing along. That endorsement from these kids here who are enjoying the bouncing castle. Children below 10 couldn't resist joining the excitement. Okay, you're having fun on the bouncing castle?
Yes.
How long have you been here?
2 hours.
2 hours? And you've just been bouncing on the bouncing castle?
Yes.
How fun is it? You just love how you just jump in and go in, eh? Okay. Come. You want to talk to me? What's your name? Adepa.
Yes.
Adepa, tell me, are you also having fun on the bouncing castle?
Yes.
There was a lot to eat and drink as families brought their food to have a good picnic. Every part of the Bree Gardens was taken by our patrons.
Still live on JoyNews at desk. We'll take a break and we'll return. That's business.
The theme.
Hello, good morning. Warm welcome to the business segment on JoyNews Desk with me, Pius Kojo-Baka. The Ministry of Trade and Industry says it is working to provide adequate support to women and youth-led businesses in Ghana to thrive under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. According to the ministry, the coordination unit under the program has engaged local banks and instituted measures to allow businesses owned by women access loan facilities at lower interest rates. Here's more.
The African Union, after establishing a common market for businesses on the continent through the Continental Free Trade Agreement, has prioritized the inclusion of women and youth-led businesses. It is reforming policies under the agreement to suit such businesses to boost the local economies. Financing and upscaling businesses is a bane of operations of many local entrepreneurs. Osman Mahmouda is Ashanti Regional Director of the Ministry of Trades and Industry.
Under African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, now there is a protocol to support women-led and youth-led businesses. At the national level, too, government is putting in a lot of effort to support women who are in business and who are willing to trade under the Continental Free Trade Agreement. One of the things that the After Coordination Unit is doing is that they've engaged banks and negotiated with them to be able to give loans to women in business so that they can get loans at a reduced interest rate. Currently, the information I have is that women can access facilities at a lower rate of 10% interest rate.
He was speaking at the GIZ Trade Hub and the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industrial Women Conference in the Ashanti region. The conference brought stakeholders, including local entrepreneurs, businesses, to deliberate on pushing support for women under the trade agreement. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry suggesting an intensified sensitization and capacity building of the youth on TVET's program to pique their interest in local productions. Victoria Hager is the first vice president of the association.
We agree that the SSS program is good to give our youth, at least the writing and the reading skills and the arithmetic. But most importantly is the skill training. If they have that, then they are able to produce things, that we ourselves, have here.
Local businesses are prevailing on the government and other institutions to facilitate the completion of railway lines for transporting goods on the continent. They observed the absence of an easy and local means of transport for both import and export products is negatively affecting business. Janet Abobigu is the CEO of Unij Clothing.
And Kaprobi a bia, a bin coho, because I'm in Sano, and in some box site, no maganis, near the identity in our timber in a train, and we are cheaper than a car.
The conference was held under the theme Making After Work Through a Deliberate Inclusion of Women. For JoyNews, my name is Emmanuel Bright Quick.
And that's it for business for now. I am Pius Kojo Baka.
That's how we wrap up the bulletin this morning. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. See you again at 12.